boxing the way as if he was teaching a boxer.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Okay.
That makes it a lot easier for me.
Okay.
So after you win on Saturday, you know what they're gonna be saying over here? They're gonna be saying, well, you have to fight David Price, but are you gonna demand that one is taken? That happens in America, or you prepare if the money's right, you'll just come back here, I suppose.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if in all honesty, this fight is about fighting, for the world title.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Who cares about David Price?
Yeah,
Because he don't got no title.
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about the money.
So
It'd be a big money fight.
it makes no business sense. I don't care how much they're gonna pay him. They're not gonna pay him as much as the Klitschko's gonna pay him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the Klitschko's are going to be in a
that
hurry to fight Kevin.
that'll make that's not good business.
I don't think Vitali would get back in the ring with Kevin though, because Kevin's been there and he sort of he did expose him a little. So I don't think the Klitschko. Yeah, it could happen, but
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I would rather see Kevin fight Vladimir rather than fight Vitali again. And I don't think that, because of the performance that Kevin put up against Vitali, people, they're not going to really buy that fight. They're not really going to be sold on it again. But, of course, I mean, but no one knows what Vitali's going to do. I mean, with the politics and stuff going on right now, I mean, maybe it's the perfect time, so if we can get that win, and then now all of a sudden you're not worried about fighting, Vitali. You're fighting, maybe the winner of Chris Arreola and the guy he's fighting.
Yeah.
Or, and then maybe even the option of the guy you just mentioned even being a part of the puzzle.
So, Jeff, are you going? I know obviously you're a professional and stuff like that. How are you going to deal with the rowdy crowd? I mean, it's going to be some sort of ruckus here,
Oh yeah.
You got your own security guards, and I'm not saying they're going to do that or anything.
No.
I'm just saying, but if you win though, you might have. You remember what happened to Marvin Hagler when he came over here and beat Alan Minter? I'm just saying, if you win and you win this spectacular fight, that actually could happen.
It could happen, but I'm hoping that the fans don't take that out on the fact that their guy got beat and he got beat fair and square. So I mean, I can't really. That's something I can't really prepare for.
No, of course.
So it just, it is what it is. So I just have to deal with whatever the situation, whatever presents itself.
Yeah, through that.
I mean, I've been in that situation for sure. I mean, I've been there with Celestino Caballero. I mean, we went to Argentina twice. We got robbed the first time, and then went back there and basically annihilated Barrows. But the one thing is that the fans there, they were brutally honest. Even the first fight, they said you guys got robbed. Even the writers and everything. And then we went back the second time, and it just made it so clear cut that there was no way they could even attempt to rob us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you work. So what you got lined up today? You got an interview you got another press conference before the fight, or what's happening?
No, I think that was the last press conference. I did a small short interview with Sky Sports today. That's about it, I think.
Okay. What about how the American media, are they covering it well, or?
To be honest, I don't really know. I know that my website is covering it. So I don't really know, I mean, but I think it's a pretty big fight.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you one of the questions. So I think maybe the YouTube boxing community might be asking about a possible, maybe I don't know if you want to answer, a possible Manny Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that, or how do you think your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, basically, it's a fight that still has the potential to happen. And I know that for a fact because I'm in the middle of the deal of it happening.
Oh, really? Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, it's definitely a potential that it will happen. It's just a matter of Manny has to win. If he loses, of course, the fight won't happen. But if he wins,
against Marquez, against Marquez, yeah.
Yeah, against Marquez, if he wins, I mean, the fight's still viable. It still can still be made.
Okay, yeah, for real. Or if, like, just in case, obviously, I'm not. Hopefully, I mean, that might happen because I actually thought Marquez might actually win this fight, but if he doesn't, what about any other opponents you have on the line, or that's it? Your focus is just Manny, and that's it.
I mean, for this particular fight, and for the people that want to do this particular fight, it's Manny or nothing.
Yeah,
they don't care about anyone else. I mean, it's one of those situations. They want the fight that everybody else wanted. And so if he loses, the fight won't happen.
Definitely. Wow, man. Okay. I was gonna say, you and your boxing career, you done fairly well in your boxing career, Jazzy Jeff.
I did okay.
Yeah, you boxed against Oscar De La Hoya. You had a fairly good pro career.
Yeah.
Yeah, fairly good pro.
All right.
Okay. Your boxing beats you. Got any questions for Jeff? Well, right now, no, it's all right. Right now. I've actually, I've actually finished with questions. Jeff, you anything else you want to add or to tell them? You're gonna tell the fans on the boxing community what the Kingpin's gonna do to on Saturday.
I mean, basically, it's a situation where, to me, you have a guy that's just huge and clumsy against a guy who's polished. And actually knows his craft and knows exactly what he's doing in the ring. It's a matter of will size prevail, or will Kevin skills prevail?
Yeah.
Because I mean Tyson Fury is a very big guy, so I mean, like in any heavyweight fight, a guy has a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a high possibility, but at the same time, he's so slow and methodical that I just don't see that happening. If Kevin can make the distance with Talia, who's 10 times better than this guy, I think that he won't have no problem with this guy. But still he has to work. He can't just go in there and do the same thing and rely on just not being touched or not being hurt. He needs to actually apply himself, and he's gonna have to do some hurting this time.
Definitely. Okay. All right then, Jeff. Well, we wish you well. Everyone, I wish you well. And so after the fight, you going back to obviously after the fight, you're going back and stuff like that. What have you got back in the States lined up? Anything? Obviously your focus is just now, but I'm just anything you have when you get back in the States.
No, actually, when I get back, I have a fight just as big as this fight.
Really?
I have a fight against Brian Jennings for the USBA title. With Boy Tupou.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm having big fights back to back, really, because then the week after that I got Big Country fighting in the UFC.
Yeah. He's not fighting. He's not fighting.
Carwin. Carwin pulled out.
Yeah. Who's he fighting now?
He's fighting Matt Meteron or something like that.
Oh, Matt Metrione.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fighting Meathead.
That's a meathead?
Yeah, they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, because they call it meathead because he used to play he used to play in the NFL.
Play football, right?
Yeah, play football.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, meathead. Okay. Oh, they got meathead. They fight. Oh, okay, that should be interesting. Hey, but I think he beat him before. I think he beat him in the Ultimate Fighter series. So that should be easy for him. Roy, no, that's an easy win for Roy. I
know that he was in the Ultimate Fighter series when they were on the show, but I don't know if they fought. I'm not sure, but but I think that I've been working with Roy, and Roy is in tremendous shape.
Yeah.
So and I don't think there's probably nobody out there in the heavyweight division that throw as many punches as Roy.
No.
I have Roy throwing well over 500 punches around. And that's just strictly punching. But I mean, and that's my thing, is to try to get his punch count up.
Okay.
Same thing with Kevin. I'm trying to get his punch count up as well.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about his output? Yeah, because they don't throw that many punches.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, because they work on a lot of power shots. If they bring on their output, then obviously the openings will come much easier than rather than just letting your hands go, right?
Right, letting your hands go. I mean, eventually, you're gonna find something.
Yeah.
If you throw enough punches, I mean, a guy can only miss so many. And then eventually you're gonna learn something.
Yeah, I mean that might be the criticism of that. I think that might have been the criticism for Kevin. for most of his career that he doesn't let his hands go. He's got all the talent and that, but he's like holding back. I mean, holding back. Is, yeah, and you're doing a good job of trying to make his hands go. I think, yeah, I see his foot movement go. I see him just, bobbing around the ring, moving around the ring, and looking smooth on that. But yeah, I can see that working. And how long you been with Kevin anyway?
To be honest, it hasn't been very long.
Really?
I think we've been together for 2 weeks.
Really? But I'm not gonna.
No, but he came out. Don't get me wrong. He came out because it's weird because me and him were supposed to have been training with each other for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And he would always call me just to to kind of reassure me the fact that eventually we're going to train together.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, he got the call for this fight with Tyson Fury, and basically he called and said, Jeff, he said I have a big fight, man. He said I was already because I'm training Bowie, and I really didn't want to leave him, but actually I have a good friend of mine that's trained under me and pretty much trained a lot like me, so I decided, well, I'll let him, stay back and work with Bowie and let Kevin take advantage of this opportunity because, this isn't something that you get every day.
Yeah.
And so basically, I just told him, I said, yeah, come on out and let's go to work and try to win this fight and move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. I mean, boy, I mean, honestly, I can honestly see the Kingpin winning the fight, and it wouldn't be a shock to me. I mean, I put it out there, in some groups, I put it out there, and they're like, "No, he's going to win," and I was like, it wouldn't be a shock. I think it'd be a shock around the world, but not to me. Not to me.
Well, I don't, to most people that honestly know boxing,
yeah,
they won't be shocked.
No, that's right.
But people that are caught up in being fans and don't really have no knowledge of boxing.
That's right.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, because this dude Tyson Fury, he talk all this trash, and and so far he's been beating everyone, but at the same time, I mean, first of all, look at his resume.
Yeah.
What has he fought, and I mean. I think if Kevin moves out the way, he might knock himself out. Like he.
Yeah, boy, that's a good point. I mean. So, hey, how's Ireland treating you? The food and stuff like that.
The food sucks.
Hey, what? We might have to edit that though. We might have to edit. We might have to edit that. The fans coming after you.
No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. To be honest, the reason why the food doesn't taste good to me because I'm not used to tasting food that's so bland. It's almost like I'm used to having food that has seasoning, some flavor. But here they don't. Their food is not really like that. But their food it's not bad. It doesn't taste bad.
Yeah,
and it's very filling. But it just seems like something's missing.
Yeah. Like go on.
No, but now television over here is horrible.
The television.
Oh my God. That's the worst. I mean, I'm watching them with damn Big Bang Theory and Scrubs and one other show. There's one other show that, and they play back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I think I watched Big Bang Theory. I think I watched it maybe 10 times in one day.
Oh man, they haven't got Sky over there.
Bazinga.
Huh?
No, that's what the guy says on the show. Bazinga.
Oh, what's that mean?
I have no idea. So it's quite obvious you never saw Big Bang Theory.
No, I don't watch that.
Oh, okay.
But he sounds like, boy, you can't wait to get back to the States, man.
Well, I mean, it's not so much that. I mean, but I do have work to do. Because as soon as this is over, immediately I get a chance to go home for one day, and then I'm back on the plane again, headed to Philly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then as soon as I land, after that flight's over, come back. Then I'm headed to I'm not necessarily